Hey guys, in today's tutorial, I am going to walk you through two different ways to create animated charts for infographics, like what you guys see here in DaVinci Resolve. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I currently have two Fusion composition clips here. Let's take the first one straight to the Fusion page, and we're going to take advantage of the shape nodes here for the first method. So let's bring in S-ellipse and S-render node, and we're gonna go to S-ellipse, right-click width setting, select expression, make sure that it equals to height, so that this way when we change height, width is also going to change at the same time. Next, let's uncheck solid and then bring up the border width a little bit there. We're going to use the length setting to animate the chart, but one thing you're going to notice is that the starting position is not at the top. So let's change the position setting to 0.25 instead, and now you're going to see that this animation is going to start at the top of the chart. We're also going to change the cap style from round to square, and then let's just bring the length setting down to 0. Let's keyframe it at this point, and then let's move over a few more frames, and then let's just bring the length back up to 1. Let's also pull up the spline editor as well. We're going to select length, and then let's first of all smooth out the curve between the two keyframes, and then we're going to pull up the easing and ease out setting here. Just quickly make some adjustments to the easing and ease out, and now you have a much more professional looking animation. Okay, now let's come to the style tab and change the color from white to something else, and then let's simply copy and paste this S-ellipse node, and then let's come to this new S-ellipse node here. We're going to go to style again, change the color to something else, and then let's position our playhead over the last keyframe there. Then let's go to the controls tab. Let's start to bring down the length setting a little bit there for the second part or second portion of the donut chart. So now let's copy and paste this S-ellipse node one more time, and then in this new S-ellipse node, we're going to do the same thing pretty much. Come to style, change the color to something else, and then let's go back to the controls tab, start to bring down the length setting, and then this is going to be the third portion of the last portion of the donut chart. So if we were to play this animation right now, you guys can see that we have a beautifully animated donut chart with 3 different sections on the chart. Now, what if, let's say, you want to change the direction of the animation? Well, to do that, we can simply place a transform node after S-render, and then let's click on the horizontal flip there. So now the animation is going to go from counterclockwise to clockwise, just in case you want to play with or change the direction of the animation. All right, so back to the edit page. Let's take our second Fusion composition clip here to the Fusion page. We are going to bring a multi-merge to start with for a second method here. This essentially will allow us to combine multiple foregrounds into one merge node. Now let's bring a background node here for the background, and let's bring a polygon masking node, and we're going to create a polyline, straight polyline by holding down the shift key. This will ensure the line is going to be straight. Now let's bring up the border width a little bit there, change the cap style from round to square, and we're going to use the length setting there once again to create the animation. So then let's keyframe it, and then we're going to bring it down to 0, and then let's move over a few frames and then bring it up to 1. Let's pull up the spline editor. We're going to do what we did earlier. Let's smooth out the curve for the length setting here first of all between the two keyframes, and then let's bring up the easing and ease out. Just quickly make some adjustments there. So now we have a very nice animation for the x-axis. Okay, so now let's come to the background node, and we're going to change the color from black to white, and then we're going to copy these two nodes and then paste instance, and then we're going to connect these new nodes to the multi-merge as a foreground. So let's go ahead and bring a duplicate node, and then we're going to connect it to these new nodes. And then in the copy setting here, let's change it to 4 first of all. And then we're going to start to just bring up the center white setting here a little bit. So these are going to be the grid lines. Now let's come to the instance polygon node here, right click border width, and then select de-instance. Let's just bring down the border width a little bit so that the grid lines are going to look much thinner than the x-axis. All right, so that looks good. Let's look at the animation. You're gonna see that all these lines are gonna shoot out at the same time, which is great. But if we were to, let's say, come to the duplicate node here and bring down the time offset setting, you're gonna see that these lines are gonna come out one after another. I personally like this sort of staggered animation. It looks really nice and it looks very professional too. So I'm gonna go with this. So now let's simply just bring another background node and then connect it to the multi-merge node. Okay, so first thing you're gonna notice here is that all these foregrounds are being combined into one merge node, which makes it very easy to manage and it looks very clean too. Now, in the same vein, we're going to bring a multi-poly node and then connect that to the background node. So this will basically allow us to combine multiple polygon masking node into one node, essentially. So with that being said, let's go ahead and create our first polyline here. So I'm going to come to the bottom of the axis here. Make sure that this first point is sitting right on top of the x-axis. And then we're going to hold down the shift key and then place another point on the screen. So this will make sure that the line is perfectly straight. And now let's uncheck the solid option there, and then we're going to just bring up the border width a little bit, and then let's also change the cap style from round to square. So now you guys can see that we have this perfectly rectangular bar sitting right on top of the x-axis. Now let's start to animate the length setting by keyframing it and then bring it down to 0. And then let's move over a few frames and then we're going to bring it back up to 1. And then let's start to bring up the spline editor. We're going to do what we did before, smooth out the curve and then change the easing and the ease out. So now you guys can see that we have our first bar animated here. Now, before we go ahead and then start to create other bars, we're going to come to the background node, change the color from black to something else. So I'm going to go with blue for this example. Okay, so to create the second bar, we're going to right click the polygon node and then select the duplicate. And then we're going to change the center X setting here to move it over to the right. And then we're going to hold down the shift key and then move this second point here, this point on top, and then drag it up a little bit. So now it sits a little bit higher. Okay, so now let's just duplicate it again. And then this is going to be the third bar here. We're going to move it over to the right and then hold down the shift key once again. And then let's bring this second point up a little bit more. And then let's duplicate one more time. This will be our last bar. Let's move it towards the end of the x-axis here. Let's hold down the shift key and then just bring this point a little bit higher. So now we have 4 different bars of 4 different heights. And if we were to look at the animation, it looks great. But what if you want it to be staggered like the grid lines? So to do that, we're going to pull up the spline editor and then we're going to deselect everything first. And then let's select the second bar and then we're going to select both keyframes and then hold down the shift key and then move them over by about 5 frames. And then let's deselect this one and then select the third bar, and then we're going to once again select both keyframes, hold down the shift key, and then move them over by about 10 frames this time. Let's deselect and then select the last bar, and then make sure, once again, select both keyframes, hold down the shift key, and then move them over by about 15 frames. So now let's have a look here. We're gonna see that all these bars will be delayed, kind of like the grid lines as well, so it looks very good. Alright guys, I hope you learned a lot from this tutorial, and as always, I will see you next time.